Chapter 28. At this moment, his expression evasive. From his demeanor, he didn't seem like someone coming to stop things, but rather like he was here to support them. There are only 3 Dao left. Not 4, Tijan said. 3? Xiao Ran furrowed her brows. Did you lose one? Tijan glanced at Drive. Xiao behind Xiao Ran, his eyes narrowing slightly. Xiao seemed to notice Xia's gaze and spoke up. Xiao Ran. It wasn't Tijan who lost it. He used one of the Dao to trade for hooks and fishing line from that female clerk. What? Xiao Ran tightened, then said to Tijan, fine. Using the Dao for trade is your business. But now you need to return the 2 that belong to us. Belonging to you too. Xia's expression grew cold. Xiao Ran Tian, who hadn't moved for a long time, suddenly interjected. That's not fair. If we're counting, the lost Dao was used to save Han Weimo from your team, and it has nothing to do with us. Damn you. Ka Yao Jin stepped forward, his expression fierce. I never hit women, but you fool. Hey, calm down. Lin King stepped forward to pull Qi Jin back, saying, those Dao were won by Kaizhou, so let him decide how to distribute them. Qi Jin bit his lip in frustration, barely suppressing his anger. Dijia slowly touched his nose and then said, the human dragon said before, these Dao are both our rewards and our chips for participating in the game. You all are just waiting to die here, so I won't give you any. What? Is it no longer about deception, but rather robbery now? Xiao Ran retorted angrily. There's no such thing as lawless territory in this world. I advise you to think this through. Is this right? We have police here. Officer Li, hearing the commotion outside, also stepped out. The 2 teams, which had no conflict before, now seemed at odds because of Xiao Ran. What's going on? Asked Drive. Xiao, I could hear the noise from inside. It's nothing. Xiao Ran has something to say to Kijou. Drive. Xiao replied awkwardly with a smile. She has something to say to me. Xia's expression turned cold. Dr. Xiao, you really are something. Are you sure Xiao Ran who has something to say to me? Xiao knew that Xiao Ran was just a gun, while Drive, Xiao was the instigator of this matter. After all, with Xiao Ran's intelligence and courage, she wouldn't confront Xiao and his group without someone pushing her. Taking out the opponent's gun could stop the offense, but taking down the opponent's person could resolve the matter once and for all. But Drive, Xiao was taken aback and then somewhat awkwardly said to Kaizhou, you might be a bit dissatisfied. Those Dao were indeed won with your help, but they belong to all of us, and we've contributed too. You should give us half. Is that so? Tijan nodded seriously in response. But Drive, Xiao, when we killed Han Weimo together last night, you didn't say that. What? Drive? Xiao's eyes widened. What nonsense are you talking about? When did I ever kill Han Weimo with you? The expressions of Officer Li and Xiao Ran changed instantly. Didn't you say so? Dijia casually rubbed his hands together. You told me? That person's wound wasn't stitched properly. He definitely can't survive. Fewer people mean fewer burdens, and the remaining ones will have a better chance of getting out. Zhao Xiao was thoroughly enraged by Kijia, the veins on his forehead bulging. Are you trying to slander me? Although Han Weimo's wound was indeed difficult to deal with, I stopped the bleeding for him. You, why are you so angry? Kijia stepped forward, patted Xiao's shoulder, and said to Xiao Ran and Officer Li, don't mind it. I'm a liar, and what I just said was all made up. Xiao was so furious his mouth twisted. Do you hate having the truth turned upside down? Kijia whispered. I hate it too. If you and that woman keep pestering me for things that don't belong to you, I will definitely teach you a lesson. Drive. 只是这个天佐 by this statement and finally realized that this man before him was no ordinary person. In previous games, Kijia had reached out for help time and again, but that didn't mean he could be pushed around. At this moment, Xiao Ran seemed to recall something and murmured, "So that's how it is, because you're doctor. When there are injured people, you have to take care of them. You killed him to rid yourself of that burden." Is that possible? Before drive, Zhao could speak. Tizhao shook his head and denied it. Xiao Ran, what I just said was really made up. You mustn't believe it. But the seeds of doubt had already taken root in Xiao Ran's heart, and how could they be easily pulled out? Tizhao, what kind of play is this? What's going on? Officer Li asked with a furrowed brow. Tizhao looked at the sturdy man before him, thinking that he had a good impression of this officer and hoped they weren't colluding for their own benefit. Zhao Ran says I should divide the Dao with you too. What do you think? Tizhao asked. Officer Li was taken aback, then shook his head and said, "We've already experimented. The Dao can't be used as currency here, and wouldn't be of any use to keep it. Besides, it was won by you. Just keep it." "Absolutely not," Zhao Ran said, somewhat agitated. "Though Zhao were exchanged with our lives." Officer Li smiled wryly and said, "Since you know those Dao were exchanged with your life, you should be even more grateful that Tizhao saved your life." Yeah. Xiao Ran was momentarily speechless. What Officer Li said was not without reason. Without Tizhao, she would have died long ago in that terrifying room. Tizhao nodded silently, took out a small ball from his pocket, and tossed it to Officer Li. Officer Li caught it and flipped it over, revealing it was a Dao. "What are you doing? I'm not going to participate in the game. Giving me a Dao is useless," he said, looking at Tizhao with confusion. "Just keep it temporarily." Tizhao waved his hand. "Consider it a wash of funds. I'll give you this one, and the two I have will be clean, so they won't bother me any more." This Officer Li was still a bit puzzled, unsure of what to say. But Xiao Ran's expressions were extremely complex, both feeling very confused. Everyone waited for a moment and noticed Officer Li still hadn't left. "Officer, is there anything else?" Tiao Qiujian asked.